morning. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, thereabouts. And yeah, I've been home for a week now and did a couple trips to Block Island. Did all kinds of stuff and finally got here. Got all the way up to Newport. Had a most amazing night out here. Big shout out to Will from Old Port Marine. He's a follower on the channels, and he told me, hey, come on over to Newport, we'll hook you up with a mooring. They have wonderful moorings and a great launch service. We thought we were gonna have to walk about a mile down to the restaurant that we went to last night, but no, they took us right over to the restaurant. It was wonderful. Anyway, so I really should have shown you all this yesterday, but obviously getting in here, we had a whole plethora of friends that I haven't seen for a long time that all stopped by and we met up with, and including something that's never happened before, or I don't know, this never happened before, I've never witnessed before. When we came in, Cristalita said, look, there's dolphins. And I go, no, there aren't any dolphins here in Newport Harbor. You're probably seeing a seal, a harbor seal. Sure enough, there's a pod of 5 or 6 of them all swimming around, all in formation all around the boat all afternoon. So that was really fun. But anyway, so the reason why we're getting underway early is that we've got to go real quick, and we've got some nice wind, so I think that the wind's going to be great. Right now it looks like the wind's blowing right at me, but that's because I'm kind of headed south, and I'm headed west, and I'm going to be headed east eventually. And the whole thing is that I want to get to the Cape Cod Canal and still have some flood tide, so that way I can not have to battle the current through the Cape Cod Canal on our way to Sandwich. So that's where we're at. So I'll give you a little more view around here of all the boats. Bell Buoy, Newport Bridge, Mega Yacht over there, Fort Adams over here. Hello and welcome, I'm Tim and this is SV Paquita. Come along almost every week, whenever I get a chance to post a video, and follow along as I try to make the transition from being a professional lifelong mariner to cruising a sailboat, mostly offshore, but sometimes in the coastal waters. Right now we're in New England and we're getting ready to go through the Cape Cod Canal and head up towards Maine. Spend the rest of the season in the Gulf of Maine. So come along, strap in, and hope you like it. Well, we turned the corner at Breton Reef and we are now eastbound for the canal, and if you can see the flag, it was pretty much in back of us, but it's moving around, and we're wing on wing right now. We're doing 6, 6.5, 6.4. Everything would be fine, but we're rolling around pretty good, as you do in a following sea. And so when it rolls, sometimes it gets backwinds either the head sail or the mainsail. But I think that's just what we're gonna have to do here for a little while. We'll do that for another half hour or maybe an hour or something like that, and then we'll come a little bit north, just a little bit. I think that'll be enough to so that I can put the main on the other side, and if we can have both sails on one side, it'll keep us from rolling back and forth and flapping and that sort of stuff. So that's what we're hoping for. A little bit afternoon. We've got 33 miles down, 18 miles to go, and as soon as we came around the point there, we were able to get rid of the engine and put the sails up. The wind has been kind of difficult. It's been right behind us, which is kind of weird. Before I was learning how to sail, I always thought that's kind of what you wanted. But those that are familiar with downwind sailing know that having it directly behind you isn't always ideal. But when you start rolling around the sail, I've talked about this when we were coming back from Puerto Rico, headed for Florida, how you can have wind on the sail and then you fall off a swell, and the top of the mast accelerates faster than the wind, so the sail gets backwinded. And we've had that happen a couple times, but now we're doing a 6.5, and let me show you. Step out here. I just got the head sail up, and you can see it's still rolling around pretty good, but it's turned out to a beautiful day in Buzzards Bay. Sailing real nice, and we ought to be into Hog Island pretty soon. And, pretty soon we'll be up to the marina and tied in and be able to see Sean and his family, one of the guys I work with, another tugboat captain. So that's going to be all kinds of fun. And as you can see, Buzzards Bay is beautiful. The wind is nice. Now, if you're wondering why, those that aren't sailors might say, why do you only have one sail up when you could have two? When you put up when you put up another, put up a main right here, the main will steal wind from the head sail. Now, in a perfect scenario, I'd pull that head sail out. That means I have a whisker pull, and I can see right there where like it back-winded right there. I could put a pole from the mast out and hold that thing out so it's always out and actually catch. There'd be more surface area to catch more wind. But my pole is really heavy, and it's hard to kind of do it out on deck alone. That's something like Runa and I would do together. So seeing how we only have about less than an hour to go before we get up to Hog Island, and then we can't sail in the canal anyway. So I think we'll just keep it rolling like this. The wind had dropped off, but it's freshening up. Right now it's it says it's blowing 22, so that's nice. We're doing 7.5, 7.8, 7.1. So we're cruising right along. Life is good aboard HP Paquita. I'll check in with you when we get into the canal. So here we are, coming up to Mass Maritime. This is the Kennedy, the school ship for Massachusetts. And we're coming up to their school here, right on the left-hand side. And the railroad bridge up ahead of us. It's kind of fun to watch this. We are motoring, look at that, 10.6, 10.4. That's because we're stuck right in a fair tide. So here's a better shot of the school. There's Rheinauer's tug, but it used to be the Boston Fuel Independence. That was a great big one that they set up for the gas ships, I believe, liquefied natural gas. Mass Maritime's field. A little bit further up, the white building up there is going to be canal control. Dime. Un momento. Going through a lot of wakes right now from all the boats that are fighting the tide. We planned it so we came right through with the tide. But if you can see, those that don't know, there's the railroad bridge, and on either side of the canal there's beautiful bike paths. All kinds of people walking up and down them the whole night. Very, very cool over here. Awesome place. So it takes about an hour to get through the canal, especially when you have a fair tide. Maybe even a little less than that, but it's about an hour. Anyway, I know that I'm coming up here to Sandwich on the right-hand side, and I've got to get in there and not get blown up on the other side of the seawall. So I've put a camera just to record out here in the bow all by itself, and that's kind of what we're doing here, so I can really concentrate on figuring out what I'm going to do when I get inside and see what we have for traffic in there. You know, not traffic, but obstacles. I used to come to Sandwich all the time 20 years ago, maybe even 25 years ago, when I had a power boat, and I always loved Sandwich. It's a great little place. It's a mixture of commercial vessels along with recreational sport fishing boats. And there's some pleasure boats too, but the waters are so rich here with fish. It's mainly commercial and sport fishing that's in here, and the people are all very welcoming and warm, and there's a restaurant on either side that are phenomenal, and you'll see later on that we stopped at a restaurant with Sean and his family. So I need to address this. I didn't even realize this until I was editing this, but if you see, in preparation for doing this, I set some lines up here for Cristalita to throw to anybody that was at the dock, and I really was hoping that I could blame this on her, but this is totally my fault. It looks as though I got my bow line, I know that I've got it, you know, on the cleat, but I have it all set here, looped over, so that if I bring the bow over, somebody can just grab it, or if Cristalita's up there, she can grab it and throw it over. But as you're going to see later on, it's going to disappear on me, and luckily it's not long enough to get in the propeller, and luckily I didn't get it in the bow thruster. But anyway, we come through here, and there's the fuel dock on the left-hand side there, and we're coming through. Don't worry if you're wondering what the marina looks like here. The next morning I do a little aerial shot with a drone. It's pretty windy right now, so it wasn't a good time to shoot the drone at all. But we come around the corner here, and I had made a reservation with them, and they told me where to go, so I'm kind of creeping in here trying to develop a plan. I knew that I wanted to be bow facing out, so the next morning I could just pop off on my own and take off out. Oh, there goes the line. Look at that. Unbelievable. Awesome display of seamanship right there. But anyway, so I'm as we're going deeper and deeper into the land cut of the marina here, I'm thinking to myself, my God, I've got to spin this thing around. I'm going to run out of room, and the wind's just starting to really pick up right now. But anyway, it was fine. When I made the reservation for the marina, they asked that I give them a call right before I enter the marina. I gave them a call, and they sent somebody. I thought they said they were going to send somebody down to the dock to catch a line for us. So I thought that was kind of, oh, there goes the line. Don't worry, the other side of it's tied off to the cleat. But oh, I can't believe how stupid I am. Anyway, they had somebody standing on the dock. In fact, they had two people standing on the dock. Now you can see me hugging the left-hand side. I'm kind of doing what I do with the tugboat, and that's that. I got to turn clockwise to the right, so I come over here and try to gain as much ground as I can. Start everything spinning. And then just as the turn starts to almost stall out, I give it a little tap with the bow thruster and back it down a little bit, make sure I don't come ahead into the next dock. tap with the bow thruster. Keep that momentum moving. Just like on the tugboat there, the momentum's fine. You just can't lose it. If you lose it, you got to start from scratch again. So as long as you keep that movement moving, whether it be slow or fast, you're good to go. And here's our dock right up here. So all I need to do is to run right up there. But the wind is coming from, if the bow is 12 and the stern is 6, the wind's coming from about 8 o'clock right now. And it's just starting to blow up pretty good right now. So I need to get over there. And the problem is, as I bring the bow over, the stern is going to come out a little bit. So I have to be careful with that. There's the people on the dock waiting for me. I do have to definitely give a big shout out to the people at Sandwich Marina. The marina was great. Didn't have to go in. You did everything online, so you didn't have to go to any office and pay for anything or anything like that. It was already done. It was done, taken care of, and they gave me the codes to go to the bathrooms and the showers and all that sort of stuff. Now Crystalita is finding the line and it's all in the water. Poor thing. I say poor thing to her. She's going to throw it at this guy at the dock. Poor guy on the dock's going to get soaked by her.
All good plans go to waste.
I am sorry.
Well, we got her all tied up. Went out to dinner with Sean and his family. Had an amazing dinner. It was wonderful. And thank you very much, Sean. And this is the next morning. While Crystalita was still sleeping, I was able to get up while there wasn't a lot of wind. And grab the drone. And don't worry. I think that you'll agree with me. As this trip progresses, my drone shots get better. I had tried to use the drone before in Block Island and found out that all of Block Island is covered by their airport security zone. So even in the harbor, in New Harbor, I wasn't able to launch the drone or anything because of the airport there. So this was the first time in a month or two that I've been able to run the drone, and it shows. But you can see they have a nice little ramp there. And it's funny, they have tons and tons of tide in the canal. I think they have a good 10 feet in there. Maybe even more, I'm not sure. But I think something like 9.5 or 10 feet, something like that. But they have a whole bunch of tide in the canal. So that's something that's really interesting. And it's kind of funny, on either side of the canal, it's only like 3 feet, but I guess it pulls up there as it goes spilling through the canal. Kind of interesting. You can see the commercial fleet right there on the lower right-hand side. And then this is coming out, and over to the right-hand side is going to be the east entrance to the canal. There it is, a little sun flare. Now you can see the land cut much better. And the lone sailboat in the mix. And there's the Sandwich Power Plant right over there. Many tugboat people have had to go in there and drop off fuel. I think they've switched most of it over to natural gas. I think that was a big destination for a lot of heavy fuel back in the day, and I don't think they do that anymore. But there's the east end of the canal. So I really hope you like this video. Stick around. Our next time after this, we're going to get underway and head up to P-Town and all of its shenanigans up at Provincetown, Massachusetts, at the very bitter end of Cape Cod. And then from there, we take off and go through Stellwagen Bank, through the whale sanctuary. And to give you a heads up, we saw tons of whales. I mean, like, it was incredible. And how we didn't get any footage of it is a miracle to me. I don't know. We were just so excited. The whales were literally blowing their breath on us, and we didn't have the cameras out. But anyway, you will see us on our way up to Gloucester, and it was a great time. So thank you so much for watching. You guys be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the one.